Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have a wild game to share with you. This was played at the 2010 World Team Championship on the white end Vugar Gashimov, playing against Alexander Grischuk. Okay, the opening we have here, an open Sicilian Najdorf, bishop g5, e6, f4 met with queen b6. What variation of the Najdorf? Well, the poison pawn. B pawn picked up, white will grab some temping against this queen, this invasive queen. Does so right away. There's a focus in this game on e6. With white's last move, there's now two attackers. Things are cool for the moment, two defenders. There is a third attacker right around the corner, queen h3. All right, bishop e7. Tension resolved, f-file now opened, both king bishops out and about. This last move, there is now a pin, a threat on g5. White addresses both of those ideas, and now sets up a discovered attack. The queen needs to find a safe square. c7 it is. Now comes this aggressive g4, looking to kick the knight from its favorite square. Black says, not so fast. Now comes queen h3. And what's going on with queen h3? Well, there's a pin. The h6 pawn pinned. g5 is now set up. You can't take, you drop the rook. If g5 is allowed, the queen's eyes also open up to e6. This is a sensitive square. Now, how black plays it, he doesn't want to see g5. So the move he plays here is rook h7. Now, rook h7 is saying you play g5, I can now take. It's defended. Computer does not like this idea. There is a shift in the evaluation after rook h7. It calls it plus 1.5. Now, about a month later, these two met again. Same colors, same position. And Grischuk, of course, did his homework, made the improvement. The top move here, the move that was played about a month later, castles. From there, g5, we saw a capture on g5, capture on e6, queen c6, the game eventually resulting in a draw. All right, in this game, rook h7 it is. Now comes rook f1. This is better than castles. Two ways to put the rook on f1. If you castle to put the rook on f1, the king is more vulnerable on g1. King's better off here on home base. The king is on g1, queen c5 ideas can be irritating, pinning an unprotected knight. So it's just rook f1. There will be no castling for the white king, and as we will soon see, no castling for the black king. Some development from here, knight c6, knight exchange, and from here, very direct play by white, goes with e5, targets the knight after the capture, bishop d3, targets the rook. Computer doesn't like that order. Some advantage there, or the advantage slips with that order. It wants to play bishop d3 first, and next up, shoot for e5. Why was this maybe not played? Well, it does give black an opportunity to play e5 here. This is considered top in this position. You don't have an option now to play e5. All right. How it is played here, again, very direct, e5. On board, d takes e, bishop d3, e4. Okay, knight captures e4. Now, let's do a count here. Two attackers on e4, only one defender. What's going on? Let's see. Knight captures knight. Black is up a piece, but the knight is no longer around controlling h5. Queen h5 check is now there. Careful where you go with the king. One wrong step and you're cooked. A quick train of thought here is, let me go to d8. Let me stay off of d7 so my bishop at least has a move. All right, if you play in this way, you're dead. king d8 could be met with bishop a5 check, and now there's rook d1. Good luck surviving this. There is a discovered check in the air, bishop b5 winning the queen. Black is lost here. So proceed with caution. Step 1 of 9 with the black king, king d7. It's about to go for a very lengthy walk deep in white's camp with a lot of pieces still on board. Follow up from here, rook d1. And now what a cool, calm next move here by Grischuk. The top move in the position is played, rook h8. Now, the first thought you would normally have after the rook plays here to d1, you say, okay, it's opposite my king. Let's get off of this file. I don't want to get hit with a discovery eventually. There's still 2 pieces that need to be cleared. The problem here playing king c7 is there's queen e5, check. The knight is under fire. If you save the knight, there's rook f7, bishop is in a pin, maybe the rook falls in some lines. It's big trouble here for black. So this is not a safe square for the king. Rook h8, improve that piece. It's out of play on h7. Let's get out of the pin. You're a moment away from maybe competing for a file. Rook h8 it is. The follow-up from here, bishop f4. Computer doesn't like this. It says black has a decisive advantage after that. It seems sensible. Bishop f4 cuts out, king c7 sets up. A bishop move with the discovery. Bishop takes knight, winning the queen next. The moves it wants to play here, queen e5 or rook f7, throwing the bishop in a pin. All right, it's bishop f4 here. One move out from a discovery, but black is on move. There's a check now available. Black makes use of it. Bishop b4 it is. In comes c3. Knight takes c3. One train of thought by pitching the pawn like this, there's now another file opened up, maybe another path to get at that black king. Now, what an interesting position this is. Both sides are in a spot where they're ready to unleash a discovered check. Bishop ready to move with the discovered check. Knight ready to move with the discovered check. There is no good discovered check here for white, however. The move played here, bishop d2. If bishop b5, check, there's knight captures rook, check. Black is winning here. No time to get the queen. Okay, white's play here, bishop d2. Follow up now, queen d5. What's going on here? Well, a few things to note. Offering a queen exchange, black is still up the piece here. Queen targets the bishop, and with this last move, the black queen cuts off the white queen from seeing a few important queenside squares. I'm talking about c5, b5, and especially a5. Okay, where do we go from here? Rook check, king c6 is played. Some of the advantage is given away with king c6. It wants to play, still stick around in this d file. Okay, black's idea, get off of the d file. In comes rook c1, king b6. Okay, we're out of a pin here. Follow up here, best move, bishop e3, check. Now, if white tries to win the material back with bishop captures knight, here's how play can follow. Queen captures bishop is there. And if bishop captures bishop, there's queen e4 check, and the important detail after the dust settles here, after these exchanges, the queen is there controlling c5, preventing a queen c5 for mate. So the try here by white, again, this is top, bishop e3 check, king a5, now available, follow up from here, a3. No time to land a discovered check. Any knight move, white is responding with pawn captures bishop and hitting you right back with check. From here, king a4 is played. That is top. If bishop captures pawn, we would not see rook captures knight. The bishop would return and throw the rook in a pin. If the bishop captures the pawn, it's looking at rook a1 here, throwing the bishop in a pin. Okay, king a4 played here. Pop quiz. How would you respond here? Feel free to pause the video. Okay, in the game, pawn captures bishop is played. Now, the only move here, top, is rook f4. Very complicated position. Rook f4, only move. One of the ideas in the event of king captures a3, there's bishop c5. We could potentially see the position liquidate like this. In the end, the knight falling. The bishop ready to fall next. Okay, that's a tricky move to spot with all the different possibilities in this position. Rook f4, only move. Okay, not spotted. Pawn captures bishop in this game. No more material advantage for the moment, but black gets that piece right back now. Queen captures bishop. Queen a5 check, only move. King b3. Now what? Black is actually generating a threat here, a serious one, mate in one. How do you deal with that? There's also the threat to take the bishop. White's try from here, exchange sacrifice. Now, if you try to run with the king here, king f2, that's not going to end well. There's queen e2 check, king goes to one of these two, and next up, you take the bishop and say check no matter where the king is, and follow up with queen captures rook. So trying to run with the king, not going to work out. We see the exchange sacrifice here. Queen captures rook. Bishop d2. Another pop quiz for you. Very important moment in the game. What move would you play here? Feel free to pause the video. Okay, there is only one move here that wins, and Grischuk finds it. Plays b6. Now, what you would like to do here in response to bishop d2 is punch back. Respond to this attack, maybe land a check, but there isn't a good check. Queen e5, okay, white has that one covered. b6 is looking to distract the queen from control over that e5 square. Now, if you try a slower move here, if you just react to this threat with, let's say, queen c2, you would be lost. You'd be lost because there's rook f3 check, follow up queen a3 check, rook b3 check. You're getting mated shortly. Also, if let's say you move to d3 or c6, squares where you still watch over a possible rook f3, I'll highlight just one of the two. In both cases, white can respond with b5. And with b5, we see that the queen and bishop now start to coordinate well. A new check is in the air. On b4, in some cases, maybe c3. It calls this equal. Okay, the only way to win is with the move in the game, b6. Queen takes b6. Queen e5 check is now there. King d1. Let's not lose sight of the material here. Black is up a full rook at this stage. Can afford to give up some material. And we see just that with this next move, move 35, bishop b7. Now this bishop is up for grabs. White takes it next. This last move, couple things going on. Watch is over. Rook f3 check, and finally, the rooks are connected. That took quite a while before there's this connection between the rooks. They are now ready to go on the offensive. Queen captures bishop from here. Rook on h to d8. Bishop now in a pin. Rook f3 check. The king continues its march. King a2. Rook f2. King b1. Queen f3. Rook on a to c8. Queen b3 check. The black queen, well positioned here in the center, is there to block. Now, what white tries from here, queen captures queen. What else is there? If you try to avoid the queen exchange, let's say queen here, there's many ways to continue. You could go straight into a one king and pawn ending if you wanted to. Queen c1 check is there. Rook captures bishop. Rook c2 is there, but yeah, just simplifying things. You could go straight into this and be winning. Scoop up the b pawn, fly with the a pawn. Okay, how it is played here after the check on b3, queen b2, queen captures queen, king captures queen, and at this point, white resigned. Nearby, there's going to be rook c2. We're going to get a rook exchange, or maybe even liquidate, exchange all of these pieces. And again, we're winning here as black, the king and pawn endgame. Wow. What a game this one was here. What a king walk. Let me just map out all of those moves there. King d7, c6, b6, a5, a4, b3, a2, b1, and finally king b2. With all of that traffic on board, what a cool tightrope walk that was. Anyhow, what are your thoughts with this one? Feel free as usual to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.